The question is,
Yes.
how do you maximize the pain and stress that you apply to your muscles during an exercise, when it comes to weightlifting or bodyweight exercise, any workout? How do you maximize the pain and stress, right?
Yes.
But not to the point to failure, so you don't counterproductive and fuck up your regime, and then afterwards you have
by
to
doing 70% of your 1 rep max.
Yes, what do you consider it? Let's say after a third set, like describe the feeling. Do you feel like, oh, it's like enough, but you like just about like you don't.
Subjective.
And let's say like you're about to collapse, right? But you just make the last rep. Is that when you have to stop?
No.
After failure, like
don't confuse failure. You want me to explain what failure is? Failure is you can't do another rep. You keep.
I thought failure was to collapse during a rep.
Well,
that's what
do you mean collapse? No, what do you mean collapse?
Not entirely collapse. I mean to
not to be able to do another one
during a rep.
No.
Wait a minute. Midway rep. Let's say you're lifting a weight, but you're not able to finish the rep, so you just drop the weight because it's like you've already done so many reps. So that's like.
What's the difference? Instead, you don't drop the weight. You put it down nicely. Because if you drop the weight, you get thrown out of the gym.
No, Malaga. I mean like. You can't do another rep, so that's why how are you able to lift it? I'm talking about midway rep. Like you're about to lift another rep and you can, but you cannot really finish it. So that's when you fail.
Well, that's failure. That's what I'm talking about. Well, I said you can't.
About not being able to lift another rep.
Yes, for another proper rep. Isn't that what you just said in just different words? It takes you 100 words to say the same thing.
With a 70%.
Yeah, the proper way, the better way to train rather than overtraining like that.
Yeah.
And going to failure, which is the wrong route. I only sometimes do that, occasionally. Is basically train 70% of what you would lift, what your maximum weight would be. So if your maximum weight, I suppose, was 100 kilos, so let's just say to do a squat. You could, maximum rep means 1 rep. You can only do 1 rep. So let's say μπορεί να κάνεις 1000 κιλά. So you do 70%, κάνεις 700 κιλά for 8 reps. Καταλαβες?
Yeah.
Something like that. You gauge it. You don't do hard. You better, in your head you can gauge what is the heaviest you could lift and go lower than that so you can do at least 6 to 8 reps. And then when you get to 10, then you know, you got stronger, then you can go more. If you keep going to failure every time, you're not making any progress whatsoever because you're not lifting heavier weights. Or you're doing less reps each time you go to failure and heavier weights, which is the same thing.
So basically take it slower.
No, train properly. Not take it slower. Training to failure is...
Essentially you're saying that you're working smarter, and on top of that, in a way, generalizing it, is literally having to... I had it on my mind, I don't know. So it's not training slower, obviously, it's training properly, obviously best, so it's...
No, nothing to do with speed.
So it's about having patience as well.
You're confused.
Shut up. It's about having patience as well.
No, it's nothing to do with patience.
No, because usually failure, it can be linked to you not having patience. Like you want to exercise more and more, overtrain yourself just to see more results. But that's actually...
What you're saying is not something I ever experienced. Yeah, these thoughts about patience. This is something that is your own experience. That I'm talking about practical, that can apply to everybody.
I know, but usually this experience is also very common because when people exercise almost, let me tell you almost, because when people exercise, they have the motivation to gain results fast. They want to see the results. I want to be like this guy, I want to be like this bodybuilder.
So they go and die.
So they train, so they overtrain. They think it's like, failure.
So is that what you're doing?
Well,
obviously you know it's wrong.
Yeah, but that's why I was explaining my experience, and that's I was saying that experience is very common.
So you answered your own question.
No, it wasn't a question.
Well, no, but you answered your own kind of like, should I train to failure? No, because it's a spasticated way.
Yes, you told me, and then now I realized, and I am telling you the experience.
That's very common. Your experience of why you do it.
That's the experience amongst motivated
Autistic
amateurs. Actually, okay, you need to be considering yourself also autistic because once you were.